Hey, what's up, guys? This is Sammy, aka Sam's Yanks. First and foremost, I want you to please subscribe to my channel and click the thumbs up that you see down below. Just click that button, okay? That button below, thumbs up, all right? Thank you for watching this video. Listen, I am not an expert. I am not a professional when it comes to airlines. I'm just a concerned citizen, just like a lot of people, and we worry about when we fly. Some people don't, kudos to you, but I'm someone that worries about flying. And yeah, we're not supposed to be up there in the air like that. No, but in this generation, this world, a lot of people fly, and it is kind of safe when you think of the differences when it comes to driving a vehicle. There's more accidents to that. But nevertheless, you're still not in control. Is the pilots are in control? Is the millions of parts that's in the plane that you got to worry about? I'm not trying to scare you guys now. I am not trying to scare you, but there is so many things that could go wrong, and but at the end of the day, we have to go to these places, and the fastest way to get there is by plane. Okay, enough of that. So the topic today is what happened in on a few days ago at LaGuardia. Happens to be not too far from where I live right now. As a matter of fact, there's planes every 2, 3 minutes, 4 minutes going over my head, going to LaGuardia. So who knows what could happen? God forbid, planes coming over my head, landing to LaGuardia. Okay, so here's the latest update. So as of today, Thursday, March 26th, the runway involved in the crash, Run 4, reopened today. Good news, right? So ahead of schedule. So this is what I'm finding out. What the NTSB has confirmed so far lines up with the part of what the transcript, the fire truck did not have a transponder. So they didn't have some type of indication letting them know, letting the people at the tower control notify that they were within that area, to alert them that something is imminent, some danger. So you need to stay clear. I don't know how that works, but again, I'm not an expert. I'm just someone that's concerned. If I'm going to fly, I want to make sure everything isn't perfect and everybody is operating the way they're supposed to by the book. And the airport service surveillance system did not generate an alert before the collision. Investigators also said runway status lights appear to have been operating, which matters because those lights are meant to warn vehicle operators not to cross when a runway is occupied. So that means that some lights were on, but these are emergency vehicles. So they needed to go to a place. And keep in mind, a lot of people are pointing the finger to the air traffic controller. He should have not given the go ahead to go, but you know, it is what it is. But let's go down to this video. I'm going to go to this guy. Now, please subscribe to his channel. His name is Captain Steve with a bunch of E's. Okay, Captain Steve. Subscribe to his channel, please, because I'm going to show you some videos about his channel. I listen to him. He's also a pastor, I heard. So that's a good thing. He's a pastor. So who is Captain Steve? Let's look up Captain Steve. He's also described as a former pastor. Oh, he's a former pastor with a Doctor of Ministry degree. So now I found this video about something interesting. Now, this accident, God, first of all, I want to say, may God bless those two pilots who died. But we want to share as many videos as possible through YouTube. Thank God for YouTube also. We want to share videos as much as possible because we want people to be aware, knowledgeable, and aware. So that way, those people who are responsible or lack of, that they're not doing their jobs, or maybe the system it's not operating the way it should, people should be held responsible, whether it's the CEOs from the airlines, fire department agency, whoever it is, I think Port Authority, whether it's some other private companies. I mean, he's going to describe it to you. So I'm going to let him do the talking so you can hear him. What I found interesting, what he says.
Transponder installed, you're just going to see a blob. And since there were several trucks all together, it was just a large blob. And that blob, again, updates very slowly. It could be quite a ways away before it begins to update. And you don't know what it is. You just know it's a blob. You don't know if it's a pickup truck or a fire truck or another aircraft moving that doesn't have their transponder on. Here's the frustrating part about all this. Why in the world would you install an expensive ASDX system on an airport, maintain it all these years, and not put a transponder in all of the vehicles on the airport? So she says, all we got was this blob and the system didn't work. Why? Because there wasn't a transponder installed in that truck. And that comes down to the division of these little government entities all over the place, right? You got the federal.
All right. So he's going to describe, I'm sorry to pause it. He's going to describe all the entities that he's going to talk about. And the person he's referring to is the woman who's in charge.
Government with laws, you got the local government with laws, you've got LaGuardia that's got their own set of rules, and then you've got the Port Authority in New York. The Port Authority is a whole different separate entity. And the Port Authority is who handles all the fire trucks and the pickup trucks and those sort of things at LaGuardia Airport. But they're a separate chain of command and a separate pot of money than the rest of the airport or anything that might be federal or local. It's absolutely infuriating from a pilot's perspective, how many different separate kingdoms there are and how they don't speak to each other and how these guys got away all these years without putting a transponder in their trucks. The system is of no use to you. That ASDX system, no use to you whatsoever if you don't have a transponder.
That's eerie when you think about it, right? It's eerie because we know that these things could happen. People make errors. People make mistakes. This is the midnight shift. This is the graveyard shift. You only got two people in the tower. As a passenger, you're concerned. You're concerned. Let me share a little background with me. Again, I'm not an expert, but I did go to Farmingdale University in Long Island to learn to fly a plane. For those people that don't know, back in 1987, I went to college to learn to fly a plane. And I remember the instructor 2 months into school in college, we got on a Cessna 150. So for those who know what's a Cessna 150, is one of the little small planes, propeller planes. And I got on that with the instructor and another passenger. And the moment we took off, man, that thing was shaking all over the place. I wanted to get back down. And being a small plane, it nerve wracked me a little bit. It got to me. I didn't like it. So I pleaded with the with the instructor to bring the plane back. And he says, you get used to it, you'll be fine. We're in control. We're good. I'm in control and this and that. Just enjoy the view. And yeah, I was enjoying the view, but it was just scary, man. And then here I am trying to learn how to fly, and I'm dealing with this stress of being in a small little plane, a Cessna 150 for crying out loud. What? Let me show you guys what's a Cessna 150. Hold up. There you go. I believe that's a Cessna 150. So that's what I was in. I was in one of those planes. And let me tell you, I did not like it. It was crazy. But anyway, so unfortunate again, it's sad. I'm over here laughing, but just to share a little thought of what, about aviation when I was 18 years old going to college back in 1987.
That the tower controller would have gotten had there been a transponder in that truck would have been an oral alert in his ear, and it would have chimed and gone that like that, and he would have known instantly that there was an imminent collision about to happen, and he might have gotten to it
Wait.
sooner. So again, perspective, how many different separate kingdoms there are and how they
Okay. Again, I had to rewind it a little bit. So he's talking about how many separate different kingdoms there are in airports.
speak to each other and how these guys got away all these years without putting a transponder in their trucks. The system is of no use to you. That ASDX system, no use to you whatsoever if you don't have a transponder. The alert that the tower controller would have gotten had there been a transponder in that truck would have been an oral alert in his ear, and it would have chimed and gone that like that, and he would have known instantly that there was an imminent collision about to happen, and he might have gotten to it sooner. So again, when we point fingers at the controller and say it was all his fault, hold on there, folks. The system wasn't working to help this poor guy out that evening, and it has to do with a lot of division of these little kingdoms. All right, that's DX. All right. So that's the big news. There was no transponder on truck number 1. Meanwhile, truck number 1 and company, the other trucks, were headed over to the other side of the airport to assist United Flight 2384. That's the other little thing that was going on here. No small thing at all. United 2384 had aborted or rejected 2 separate takeoffs due to fumes in the back, in the cabin of the airplane. So they taxi back to the ramp. They want to get these people off the airplane. They've still got fumes in the back, and they're talking back and forth to this lone controller. Now, there's 2 controllers in the tower. There's the local controller, and there is the controller in charge. The controller in charge many times is doing paperwork and shuffling things around, while the local controller is on the radio talking to everybody at 11:37 at night. Okay. So again, we don't know who had exactly what division of duties. All we do know is that the local controller was the one on the radio for most of the audio. All right, now United is asking for help. They're saying, can you get us off this airplane? We need to get either air stairs or we need to get a ramp control to give us a gate. Ramp control is another one of those separate facilities on the airport. The tower controller does not control the ramp area. There's a separate tower over there with a controller in it. It's 11:30 at night. Is the ramp being manned? Probably. Is the ramp controller by himself? Probably. Is the ramp controller busy with something else at that moment? Could be. People have to go to the bathroom. There's things that the human events have to take place, right? So again.
All right. So I'm going to end it there. And I like that part, what he says. So he is referring to the human elements. Yes, the human element. That's us. We have to sometimes take a time out and go to the bathroom. Now, if I go to the bathroom knowing all these stuff that's going on, that only leaves one flight controller in that tower. And with all the mess that's going on with the airport. So this is why the whole system to me is really screwed up. And if we're going to continue to fly and we're going to rely safety on these people, they need to step it up. I mean, it's all about the money, right? I mean, they're trying to save money. So they don't want to have too many people. And they say it is a standard to have at least two people in the tower during the midnight shift. But that's midnight shift. We're talking about people that maybe they were too busy throughout the day and they didn't have enough rest and they could be sleepy. You want to have at least 3 people. You got to add someone else. And then if that person has to use the bathroom, then what? So to me, the whole system is just screwed up. They need to fix that and fix it fast because of the situation that we're only human, and when it comes to the airlines, you have to unfortunately be perfect. You have to be perfect, and then keep in mind these planes are old. There's millions of parts, that we all got to worry about. That's a lot of million. Again, I'm not trying to scare nobody here. I'm just telling the facts, and the fact needs to be mentioned. Again, I'm not an expert, but it needs to be mentioned when it comes to situations like this. So this is my opinion. I'm sure I spoke to many people about it. They're blaming the person at the tower. They're blaming the fire truck, the people in the fire truck having just two people in there. Uh, you can't blame the people that died, the two pilots that died. You can't blame them. They landing. So there's only that system. But and then you a lot of people are forgetting you gotta blame the system, the way the system is working for us, not just for them, but for us, the passengers. The system is corrupted. They need to fix it. And so, with that said, God bless everybody that loves to fly. If you need to fly, God bless you. You know, seek Jesus. I'm telling you, seek this guy, seek this man, this God, this man that he was once a man and came onto earth to be with us during that time, and now he's in heaven looking down on us, and all we have to do is follow him. Listen, I'm just saying this because there is another world out there, and I got to share this. Look, look at what I got here. What is this? Okay. This is a endless string. Okay. It just ends. It just keeps going and going and going, right? And keep going. I mean, it's going to go on for infinity and beyond. It's just going to keep going, right? This is what life is after death, infinity. When you seek Jesus, when you follow Jesus, when you don't, or you don't repent, or you don't become born again, this is your life right here. I don't know if you can see it, but this here, this is you on earth. This little red thing here, can you see that? I can't zoom it in because it looks kind of like blurry, but this here is your life on earth. Everything that's happening here is your life on earth. And then when you die, this is this forever, forever. Just end. So, guys, again, let's stay away. Let's stay away from this life, and let's think about this life, the afterlife. Okay, and the only way to do that is to repent and be born again. Follow Jesus. Thank you. God bless you, and until next time.